Greetings, everyone. We want to welcome all of you and thank you for joining us. We're going to wait a couple more minutes and then we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you. Welcome and thank you for joining us. We are going to go ahead and get started. If we could please get the slides going. Greetings, everyone. My name is Dr. Edgar Lampkin. I am the CEO for CABE, the California Association for Bilingual Education. And we want to thank you all for joining us. This webinar right here, next slide, is focused on helping us understand what the process is for elections. And we have some guests here with us that are going to be presenters. I want to introduce to you Dr. Barbara Flores. She's Director of Financial Affairs for our CABE board, and she will be one of our presenters. We welcome her. Next slide. The other presenter that we have with us is another incredible CABE board member. Dr. Sara Cepeda, is a Region 5 representative for the CABE board. And so we also want to welcome her. She will be presenting along with Dr. Barbara Flores. Next slide. I want to begin by sharing with all of you that in order to put this event together and this webinar, we have a CABE support staff team with us. our Deputy Director, Maria Villa, uh, Joshua Howdigi, who is the Director of Administrative Systems and oversees our chapter support, Norma Rocha, who is the Director of IT and Creative Design and doing all of the movidas in the background. We also have Aida Madison, who is our Executive Assistant. And finally, we have Lori Miles, who is our Communications Manager. So we want to say thank you to them for their tremendous work in putting all of this together and giving us an opportunity to share with all of you this coming presentation. Next slide. I want to remind all of you that here you see the CABE Board of Directors for CABE. And obviously, this webinar is focused on the election process for the CABE Board of Directors. So we do have some positions that you will see that are going to be opening up. And we're hoping that as you are looking at considering to apply for a CABE board member, you can see here that we have an incredible team of CABE Board of Directors. Next slide. So the 2026 CABE Board Application and Election Process webinar is going to consist of the following items. Reviewing candidate qualifications. What does it take to be able to qualify to apply for and to run for CABE Board? We're going to walk you through the application process. We're going to also be able to highlight candidate resources so that you know where to go in case you have questions, you know who to talk to, who to ask. We're going to explain the post-ballot election process as well, because after the individual has run and people have been voted or elected, what is that next step? What is that process? And then we'll give all of you an opportunity to be able to answer any questions that you might have as a candidate. So having said that, let's go to the next slide. If you didn't attend the informational webinar, which took place on December 9th, you need to know that it is available at gocabe.org/elections 2020-26. It's recorded, just like this webinar is going to be recorded, and it's going to be on our page for elections so that you are able to go to the CABE page and not only access this webinar, but all the other resources and information that we have on this web page. So again, be sure to watch the recording on our website if you have not seen it. Thank you. Next slide. I'm going to, at this point, turn it over to our next presenter, Dr. Barbara Flores. Is that correct?
Yes. Thank you,
So
Dr. Duncan.
you're welcome.
These are the CABE positions that are open, and they are in red. And these are the ones that are available for candidacy this coming election. And the vice president is open, the president-elect, um, the director of state and legislative affairs, director of paraprofessional affairs, director of parent relations, Region 2 representative, and Region 4 representative. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions open that are open for new candidates. Next slide, please. The first critical eligibility criterion is that you must be an active CABE member as of May 8th, 2025. The way to check your membership status is to email membership@gocabe.org. I highly advise you to first check your membership before you even begin the application um, process, because if you do not meet this criteria, you will not be eligible to be placed on the ballot. And so to save you a lot of heartache, you need to check your membership status. Um, if you have not been a continuous member since then, and or our paid membership is not current, again, you are not eligible to apply. It's very, very key that you check your membership status at that email address. Thank you. Next one. Next slide. And besides the eligibility requirement, you have to be at least 21 years of age. You have to have, of course, maintained a regular membership for 1 full year immediately preceding nomination since May 8th, 2025. You must be committed and passionate about implementing CABE's vision of biliteracy, multicultural competency, and educational equity for all. That is our vision, and everyone on our board is very passionate and works very hard to make sure that we implement our vision. Next slide. Additional position-specific eligibility preferences and requirements. Here are just some of the following ones for the positions that are open. Next slide. And these are the required and preferred qualifications. To see more detailed position descriptions, you need to go to the website so that you can read all of them, but these are just the highlighted ones. President-elect and vice president prefer to have served 2 years on the board in a different position prior to being nominated. For Director of State and Legislative Affairs, must have knowledge in legislative process, prefer to have some connections or ties with advocacy groups, state legislators, and the governance of state education department. This is very vital because we are an advocacy nonprofit, and all of our networking and connections are very vital. And I forgot to say up above for president-elect and vice president, the reason that it's preferred that you have at least served 2 years on the board in a different position is, for experience and background and how the governance process works within our organization. Okay, next slide. Director of Paraprofessional Affairs. There are more than this requirement, but you must be a current paid, not volunteer. You must have current service in the capacity represented by the Directorship of Paraprofessional Affairs. In other words, you will have had to be currently a paraprofessional. Next, Director of Parent Relations. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go back. The next position. Director of Parent Relations must be a parent, a guardian, or a caregiver of a student attending the public education system in grades K and 12, and preferably parent or of an English learner. And I think we could put TK in there as well, because we have TKs in some areas now, in some districts. That's one of the many requirements. Next, regional representative for Region 2 and 4. One of the main ones is that you shall reside in the designated region that you will be representing. Okay, next, please. Next slide. And I will hand this now over to Dr. Cepeda, who will begin detailing the next, the 2026 election timeline.
Thank you, Dr. Flores. And so now we're going to move into the actual election timeline. As Dr. Lampkin mentioned, we did do an informational webinar that is available for your viewing. Starting today, as you're here with us, we're the orientation webinar and the application support. The nominations actually open on March 23rd, and they close at 11:59 p.m. on April 12th. So it's very important that you not miss that deadline because you will not be eligible. We do not take late applications. Then we have the actual window, the election window, which is April 24th through May 8th. The results are announced on May 26th. And then June 12th and 13th is the actual board installation and meeting. You're actually welcome to come and be at this meeting, but your voting rights will not begin until July 1. Next slide. And so we're so glad that you're here with us so that you can begin the process. We want to make sure that all of these components are met. We want to make sure that you determine eligibility. As we said, you must be a CABE member prior to May of 2025. We need your personal statement, which will be published along with your candidate statement. We need 3 professional references, your candidate photo, which will be used in various locations on our website, and also the link to your candidate video. We are requesting that you do 2 45-minute videos, one in English and then one in another language. And it's vital that you do not go past your 90 seconds because we don't want to have to edit your video, and we want to make sure that you are portraying yourself as a candidate in the best way possible within those 2 45-second videos. And then again, as we mentioned, the board installation and board meeting is on June 12th and on June 13th. Next slide. And so now we've gathered quite a few candidate resources on your behalf. And so I want to introduce to you Lori Miles, who is our communications manager, and she's going to take us through this section.
Hi, everyone. Can everyone see my slide? I believe you can see my the web page now. So on our website, there is a page called gocabe.org/elections2026, and it looks like this. And we have gathered all the information that you need to know and all the documents that you need to review, including the application link, right here in one place. So this is your one go-to spot for everything election related. So if you look here on the left where I'm scrolling, you'll see that we have our open positions listed. There are, as we mentioned, there are 7 positions now open, and you can click these links to view the position qualifications, the responsibilities, roles, etc. Let's take a look at one of them. I'm going to open the Director of State and Legislative Affairs. So if we click on that one, you can see that we've got some information, general information at the top about the position. Then we've got the required qualifications, and these are qualifications according to our CABE bylaws. We've already reviewed these with you, but they're repeated here again. And then we have the preferred qualifications that we talked about briefly. And then we have the main responsibilities according to the bylaws for that particular position. And that is followed by the essential duties and expectations. If you scroll down, and sometimes it's a multiple page document right here. So this is really critical. If you're considering running for a particular position, you want to make sure that you look at the document for that position very, very carefully so that you understand the requirements, the preferred qualifications, the responsibilities, and the essential duties and expectations. Let me go back. Okay, and so there is a similar document here for each of the open positions this year. All right, so you want to be sure and review the one for the position that you're interested in. Then we have the important dates listed here. We've already reviewed these with you, but they're here all in one place for you to review again as needed. And then if we move, oh, sorry about that. If we move to the right side of the screen, you will see that we have, oops, sorry, I keep clicking the wrong thing. All right, I'm just trying to move it a little bit. There we go. Okay, on the right side, in this column on the right, we have the webinar that we mentioned from December 9th. If you did not attend that webinar, you want to be sure to watch the recording. You can do that right here. This registration link is actually for the webinar that you're attending right now, so you can ignore that. And then right here is the most critical information. candidate resources. We have the open positions and qualifications. I'm going to open that document now. And you can see that it's again summarizing which positions are open and what the qualifications are. And these right here are live links that go to the documents that I just showed you on the left side of the web page. It's the same thing. So the documents are linked on the left side of the web page, and they're linked here within this document. The next one is called the application submission requirements. And if we click on that one, you will see this is very critical that you read this very, very carefully. Okay, so it's telling you the details about what you need to submit to us in order to apply to be part of the election. So you need to include a personal statement, 500-word maximum. It has to include a vision for CABE, your education experience, your community volunteer service, any leadership qualifications that would meet the responsibilities of the position, and it needs to summarize your commitment to biliteracy and multilingual programs. That's a lot for only 500 words, so you'll need to be working to carefully craft that to make sure you can address all of those requirements of the personal statement within the 500-word maximum. The second item that you'll be submitting as part of your application process is a candidate statement. This one is going to be posted on the CABE website and on the e-ballot that people will be using to vote, and that's 100 words maximum. And so that's where you'll be summarizing your qualifications for the position. Number 3 is that you need to provide 3 references, and we want to specify that these are professional, not personal references. So 3 professional references, you'll be providing their name, title, phone number, and email. This information is also, I believe, within the application. Number 4 will be a head and shoulders high resolution color photograph. The size of the file cannot be larger than 5 megs, and cell phone photos are acceptable. So most cell phone photos have adequate high resolution and would work. So again, it's important that it be a close-up head and shoulders, not like a full body photograph. The 5th item is that you will be providing a link, as Dr. Cepeda described earlier, of a candidate video. So it's a 90-second video, 45 seconds in English, and 45 seconds in another language. In that video, you will state why you would like to be elected for the position, and then you'll upload your video to YouTube or any other platform and submit the link in your nomination application. So just to be clear, you're not uploading a video to our application form. You're only uploading a link to the video. So all candidates, we've said this several times already, but it doesn't hurt to repeat it. All candidates must be available to attend the board installation on Friday, June 12th, and the board meeting on Saturday, June 13th. And the locations for those events are still to be determined. Okay, so we've reviewed the open positions and qualifications. We've reviewed the application submission requirements. And now let's take a look at the promotion and campaign guidelines. So these are guidelines that have been approved by the CABE Election Committee. And you'll see that we're telling you about the webpage. We'll be creating a campaign slate on our webpage that'll be posted to the CABE website. It'll include your photo, a short bio, in other words, your candidate statement, and videos. We invite you to create a campaign flyer and to send it to CABE in PDF format. And if you do so, we will be posting that on the candidate slate webpage. We will be providing a list of all candidates by email to our members. So we'll be emailing them a list of candidates, in other words. And then on social media, we will post the slate of candidates on our Facebook and Instagram pages, and also on the members only Facebook page. You can post your campaign flyers and announcement on your personal social web pages if you wish. Chapters can support a candidate if they wish on their chapter social media pages. So regarding promotional materials, and this is very important that you read these bullets carefully. CABE will provide the chapter president a list of candidates, and the candidates may contact chapters to ask for endorsements. No member names, emails, or phone numbers will be provided. That's personal information that we do not share. Regarding flyers, you're invited to create one flyer, and you can send it to us in a PDF format, and we will post that on our candidate webpage. The flyers can be sent to the election committee for their review and approval. If you decide to include a flyer, you're going to send that to membership@gocabe.org. The deadline for sending flyers in is Tuesday, April 21st. If you include the CABE logo on your flyer, please use a version sized no longer than 2 inches by 1 inch and insert it on the bottom right portion of the flyer. Endorsements. Personal endorsements are permitted. CABE board members may endorse candidates personally, but may not use the CABE public stage or venues to endorse publicly. Chapters may endorse candidates and are requested to post positive comments and statements only. No negative statements. Staff members or CABE consultants are not permitted to endorse candidates at all. If you have any questions about these campaign guidelines, be sure to contact Joshua Hawadigi, our Director of Administrative Systems at joshua@gocabe.org. Okay, so those were the promotion and campaign guidelines. And when you're ready to submit your application, you're going to click this button right here. And let's see what that looks like when we go there. All right. So the first thing is you may need to do this process in different sessions. And so you want to create a save and return login so that if you don't finish in one session, you can come back later and log in. If you don't do that, you might have to start all over again. So I would recommend doing that. And then you'll see that we have, we're asking for some basic information, and anything with an asterisk is required information. So we have here repeated again the qualifications that you must meet in order to be a nominee. We've reviewed those already, so I'm not going to go over them again. And you notice we have them in English and in Spanish. And then we ask you right here to indicate whether you have accepted and read these nomination qualifications. If you click yes, you can continue. If you click no, then don't continue with the application because you have to agree that you've read the nomination qualifications before continuing. So we're going to ask for some personal information, name, phone numbers, address, etc., and your email address and the languages that you speak. We're also going to ask about your CABE membership. Remember, we told you several times that you need to verify that. If you're not sure, you can email membership@gocabe.org to find out your current membership status. You have to click yes or no. If you click no, you can't continue because you have to be a member. Part 3 is your employment, and you're going to tell us, are you currently employed? And then if so, the name of your employer, the address, phone number. And then if you're retired or not currently employed, you'll click yes or no here. And then you have to indicate whether or not you've ever been convicted of a felony. Then we ask for information about the position that you currently hold. You can see here that we're asking if you're an administrator, a teacher, a paraprofessional, a parent, or a community member. If applicable, you'll add the number of teaching years or your administrative experience, and you can indicate that below in these fields here. Section 5 is where you select the board position that you're applying for. And you'll see the 7 positions that we've mentioned already right here. You'll click only one. You're not allowed to run for more than one position. So you have to pick the one you want to run for. And then in section 6 are your candidate statements. So again, as I mentioned earlier, it's a personal statement, no more than 5. You'll see right here, this is the maximum word count, 500 words. As you type, in this field, or if you cut and paste text into this field, it'll show you how many words you have and it'll indicate if you're over. It will not accept it if it goes over 500 words. So you might have to do some last minute editing. I know that happens to me a lot. Okay, and so in the statement, here are the things that you want to be sure to cover in those 500 words. Notice that there's no place to upload a personal statement or a ballot statement. It does not accept uploads. You have to either type it into this field or cut and paste the text into this field. And the same is true for the ballot statement right here. Number 2 is you need to include a ballot statement in English. Notice the maximum here is 100 words, and that should explain why you want to hold the position. And that will be posted on the website and the e-ballot. Notice again, down here, you can, as you start typing or pasting information in there, it'll tell you how many words out of the 100 maximum you've used. Part B of that is to provide that short ballot statement in Spanish or another language. And you're basically providing the same information, just in another language. Then in section 7, this is the section for references. Again, 3 professional references, not personal references. And you're going to give their name and contact information here. Your photo, you will upload that here by choosing click file. Make sure that it does not exceed 5 megabytes. I don't think it'll accept it if it's larger than 5 megabytes. So you'll probably get an error message if it's larger than that. And then in section 9, this is where you'll give us a link to your candidate video. Again, I want to reiterate that you're not uploading a video here. You're only providing us with a link. And so you will type or paste the link into this field right here. And again, it's a 90-second video, 45 minutes in English. 45 seconds in English and 45 seconds in another language. And that's it. That's the application process. Very critical that you hit one of these 2 buttons down here. If you're not done and you want to come back and finish your application later, you're going to hit the button here on the left called Save Progress. If you're finished and you're ready to submit your application, you want to be sure to hit the Submit button. And that's it for the application process. If you have any questions, about the application or the submission itself, you're going to email elections@gocabe.org. If you have questions about your membership status, you want to email membership@gocabe.org. So again, this webpage here at gocabe.org/elections2026 has all of the information that you need. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. And Josh, I'll let you reshare.
Okay, thank you, Lori. That was a lot of very important information. And so now we're going to talk about the post-ballot election process. So third-party ballot election service is used for voting and results are submitted to CABE. When no nominee is placed on the ballot, a write-in candidate must receive at least 20 votes or 25% of the votes cast, whichever is higher. Election winners will be notified by CABE, and if there is no winner for a position, the board appoints a member to fill the vacancy. And the new board member service and voting begins on July 1 of 2026. Next slide. And so we're going to review the election timeline just once more. Today, you're here with us, the orientation webinar and application support. March 23rd, the nominations open. April 12th, nominations close at 11:59 p.m. April 24th through May 8th is the board election window. May 26th, election results are announced. And then you must be available June 12th and 13th for the board installation and board meeting. Next slide. And so we have two very important recommendations. So we urge you to carefully and thoroughly read all the detailed information about the open board position and specifically the one that you would like to run for on the 2026 election webpage. And this will include all the board rules and the complete qualifications. And we really strongly recommend that you start and complete your application process early. Deadlines, as I mentioned, cannot be extended. And as Lori took us through the application, it is going to take some time. So again, we recommend that you begin the process as early as possible and submit your applications. Next slide. And so there are various, if you have need support, who do you want to contact? The application and submission questions goes to nominations@gocabe.org. Any membership questions, membership@gocabe.org. And if you need technical support or technical assistance, it would be norma@gocabe.org. Next slide. And now we're going to open it up to questions, and I'm going to hand it over to our CEO, and that's Dr. Edgar Lampkin. Thank you, Dr. Lampkin.
Thank you, Dr. Cepeda, and obviously appreciate everyone walking us through the information carefully, because one of the big challenges that occurred this past year was people would receive a packet of information. They would sometimes not read all of the information and maybe not even check to see if they actually qualified as members. And by doing that, they would go through the application process and take a lot of time filling it out. Once they would find out that they did not qualify, they were not very happy because they had spent a lot of time. And so, thanks to the feedback we received from a number of CABE members that had applied, we took the notes down. We made the necessary changes that you are seeing now. We backwards mapped our election process. We have an introduction webinar. We have a webinar on the detailed process for applying, and hopefully there are some really good questions here that we can answer that may be helpful for other folks. Again, if we're not able to answer that question, or there's another question that pops up later, you do have on this webinar the places where you can go to ask your questions and who you may need to send an email to. So, having said that, are there any questions on the chat that we have seen, Norma?
I don't see any as of now, but please go ahead. Anybody that's attending, if you want to go ahead and place it in our chat, we will be glad to answer that. Yeah, I haven't seen any come in.
Okay. I do know that as a teacher, one of the things that is crucial is to provide pause time. And it looks like there may be a question that popped up. Let's see.
Dr. Lampkin, I'd like to point something out, if I may.
Yes.
I noticed that on our website and on one of the documents that were reviewed, there were two different emails for application and submission questions. One of them said elections@gocabe.org, and one of them said nominations@gocabe.org. And I believe both of those emails, either one would be fine to use. Maybe Aida can confirm that.
Yes, either one.
Okay, so either elections or nominations@gocabe.org.
Correct.
Just wanted to clear up in case there's confusion around that.
Great. I think another question that popped up informally was, can a candidate run for more than one position if they're qualified? And that's a good question. Um, no, you need to decide what position you want to apply for and submit your application and run for that position. But again, before you do that, please make sure that you do qualify. It's a little tricky trying to see if you qualify because we have had a number of different ways in which people do not qualify. Joshua, maybe you can address that a little bit. What are some of those challenges that you have seen that have come up?
As previously mentioned, the biggest one is a continuous membership. Sometimes there's gaps or lapse in coverage when membership is not continuous. So that's why we heavily advise that. Others is just other qualifications, as mentioned. Each position has different qualifications. Some are restricted to our bylaws, while others are preferred. The election committee will go through them, but if they meet any of the required ones per our bylaws, then that might not be able to be a candidate.
Great. Thank you, Josh.
Joshua, can I add to that? In the past, we've also seen situations where somebody is completing their application or maybe even starting it the day that it closes. It closes at 11:59 p.m. and then something happens, their internet goes out or they have a power outage or some kind of technical difficulty that keeps them from completing the application. And keep in mind that we cannot and do not accept late applications. This is why it's really critical that you start and complete your application as early as possible. Waiting until the night of is a little dangerous in terms of you never know what's going to happen with technology, right? So that's one issue that has come up in the past is people are kept from completing it because of technology problems.
Thank you, Lori. And again, for those of you that are viewing this session or the recorded session, if you have any suggestions, please give them to us so that we may be able to make the necessary modifications to ensure that we are supporting and providing the information you need to be able to effectively apply for the CABE board position. We really do encourage our CABE members that qualify to apply, and we wish all of you the best of luck. Those of you that decide to apply, obviously it is an incredible position to be a part of when you are a statewide CABE board member. And so we thank you for taking the time to view this video. We thank all of our team for the time they took in putting all of this information together. And of course, we want to also thank our presenters, our CABE board members, Dr. Barbara Flores, thank you so much. Dr. Sarah Cepeda, thank you once again for taking the time to share with everyone the position. I will now close the session by having our board members just say a few words about what you like about being a CABE board member to encourage others to apply. So, Dr. Cepeda, I'm going to have you go first, and then Dr. Flores.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is my third year, second year as Region 5 representative, and it is so inspiring to be with people who are very like-minded and believe in the best for our students. And that is what I really love about CABE. Everyone is very supportive. We're always looking out for what's in the best interest of our students and our families. And we really are a CABE familia. We really all work together, and it's very inspiring, and I'm just so appreciative and so grateful to be part of this amazing group. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cepeda. Dr. Flores.
I echoed what Dr. Cepeda said. We are a CABE familia, not just our board, but our incredible staff. And under your leadership, Dr. Lampkin and Maria Villa, we we are, how would you say, the go-to organization. I love that we as a board support many advocacy issues. work closely with the legislatures, work closely with our administrators and our teachers, our paraprofessionals and parents. I don't know if people know, but we're the only organization that includes everyone at our conference, even our students. Um, Other organizations, only are for administrators or only for teachers, but we embody the true nature of community and the familia. And I love working with our board members. Um, we all are like-minded. We want the best for our community and our students, our teachers. And I love our can-do spirit. And I'm very thankful and give a lot of gratitude to how would you say, our organization and to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Flores. And our our deputy director, Maria Villa, has been with us. Maria, I'd like for you to go ahead and finish and close the event. We always give Maria Villa an opportunity to do that because just her spirit is tremendous. Maria.
Thank you, Dr. Lampkin. So before we conclude today's webinar, again, just want to give a huge thank you to our CABE board directors who facilitated today's webinar, Dr. Barbara Flores, Dr. Sara Cepeda, and our amazing CABE team for leading and facilitating this webinar. We also want to thank you for joining today's webinar. We appreciate your interest and time that you brought forth today with us. May you all have a wonderful evening, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any further questions. Thank you everyone for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.
Buenas noches.